Eddie, was that as professional performance as your team has put in the time you've been here?
Yeah, it's definitely up there. I thought it was always going to be a difficult game because, well, you know, such a gap between the ties. I think that's unique in itself, and we had a long time to sit on our 2-0 lead and to think about how we were going to approach the second leg. In the end, all the thinking's redundant, really. We were always going to play the same way and try to execute how we want to play the game. And I thought the players did that really well because we were brave, aggressive, everything that we want to be, and definitely the final message to the players really is to try and attack and be ourselves.
And is the message now to the players that this counts for nothing unless you go and win it?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't sort of gone there yet. Just very, very pleased to have got through this tie because that was 2 really tough games against a very good team. But I don't think anyone can say it was not deserved really in the end. I thought we were really committed to our defensive work tonight, much better than we were in our last 2 league games here. Showed that we can defend to a really high level. Physically, I thought we were much better tonight than we have been in those 2 league games. Really, really good energy. Of course, bouncing off the crowd who were magnificent for us. So really good performance.
Okay, Luke?
Talked about nerves before the game, but that was really channeled on and off the pitch into everything you talked about everything before the match.
Yeah, I think it's easy to talk about it, but the players are the ones that have to execute it under the pressure that they're under. And I understood the questions on Tuesday, thank you, about the nerves, but you know, about holding the lead. And for us, it was, we tried to approach it, as I said, as another game, as a very good opposition, but we needed to execute what we wanted to do. Now, a few tweaks and changes to what our normal structure would look like. We felt we needed more height in the team tonight. That was such a big thing with the set play threat, so we wanted to try and find a way to get Dan, Sven and Fabian into the same team. And I thought that certainly helped us in that respect.
What's it like to be Newcastle United manager on a night like that when the fans are like that and you're playing at St James's?
Yeah, an amazing feeling. Very, very proud to lead the team, to lead the club on nights like tonight, because you see the very, very best of Newcastle. The crowd, the images of the crowd, the support for the players, the love for the players. I think it's just been a great night for us.
2 domestic cup finals in 3 years. The club had waited 20 years to get back to one. How does that sit with you at the moment? Are you uncomfortable with being praised for that, or willing to take it?
No, I'm fully prepared to take that, thanks. No, I think that the players always deserve the credit. This group of players for me have, since I've been here, I think have been magnificent for me. And again tonight they've gone hard for us. They've given everything physically, mentally. I'm very, very honoured to manage that group.
Thanks, Luke. We'll go to Nisha, Keith, and then Lee.
Eddie, do you feel that experience from 2 years ago puts you in a better place going into this year's final?
I think so. Yeah, I think so, because I think we learnt a lot from that day. I think the whole build up to the game was long. Looking back, it was exhausting for me. You know, I'm sure it was the same for the players. But I think from that you learn different techniques to help keep your concentration, keep your focus, not become tired. You know, of the long build up. So I think there's definitely things as a club we can improve. We can look at to just help the players when that day comes around. We're able to perform and give our absolute best.
After such a complete performance, your players will probably feel, well, they'll fear no one. You'll be watching tomorrow's of the semi-final with interest. I guess, how bothered are you about who you're going to face in that final?
I think fate will naturally take its course. I don't think we'll engage on the emotion of who we play. That will come in time, of course. Two elite teams, two very good sides that we've faced this season, so we know that whoever we play will be a tough opponent. But I think it's just a case at the moment of being really pleased to have won today, continued our good momentum and good form, and yes, I think we've shown that we can compete against any team in the Premier League at our very best levels. I think we're a very good team, so I think that should give us loads of confidence.
Thank you.
Keith?
It felt like a very brave call from you to change the formation like that. You don't do it too often, but we know you were missing Joelinton in midfield, one midfielder less, so to speak. When you watched the game, it felt like you had one midfielder more with Fabian stepping up and kind of acting on Lewis
Yeah, I think there's a risk to everything, Keith. You know, in team selection and systems, and people will debate it endlessly. I understand it, but I think when you're us on you on the inside and you're based with all the knowledge that you have, sometimes things are pretty clear. This was clear in my head as soon as the game finished, really, and we knew that we'd be missing Joe for a period of time. That we had to change something. So yeah, we came up with a plan on Monday, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Today I thought the lads stuck to the plan and delivered it really well.
How long will be missing for?
I think he'll be out for weeks, not months. I don't think it's a serious injury, but it will be enough to make him miss the next few league games, I think.
And Jacob Murphy tonight, the semi-final a couple of years ago, the Sean Longstaff is one of the good goals that sent you there. For another player who's been here for a long time, who's been through difficult stages during his career, to get that all-important front goal that just gave you a foothold in the game, must be a really special night.
Yeah, I think Jacob's been magnificent since I've started working with him. He's such a team player. He really lives for assists. He loves to create chances and goals for other players. Don't get me wrong, he'll love to score as well, and that'll be a special moment for him and his family. Very pleased for him. Again, another guy that does live his life. Very dedicated, very disciplined, and it's great to see good people do well.
Go to Lee, Craig and then Louise.
Eddie, the fans have had the trains and hotels booked. Did that add to the enormity or the pressure to it a little bit for you guys?
Try and stay away from all that, Lee, if I'm honest. Because I think the minute you take that on, that emotional sort of pressure on, I don't think it helps. So I try and clear myself. If I hear anything of that, I'll just switch off and just try and get my head around what I need to do to help the players win the game.
But you must be delighted that you've been able to deliver that and you don't have to get refunds and things like that.
Yeah, of course. Now it's done. I'm delighted and pleased that you get to keep your original booking.
How did you cope with? You said that it was a long day. How did you cope? Did you go for a walk on the beach or anything like that, or did you just
What's that? Sorry.
today? How did you cope? With,
Today.
Yeah, counting those hours down without getting
Well,
the walls without dying.
Well, we always train on a match day, so no, it was training, normal routine. Try and have a little sleep if I can for an hour, which I did. And I slept well, and then straight to the game.
Thanks, Craig.
Eddie, necessity is the mother of invention in this formation you've played here today. Could that be something you use going forward, given the success of it tonight, when previously you have traditionally stuck to your 4-3-3?
Yeah, but we've used that system before. I'd probably say in about 3 or 4 games this season. So it's something that we will turn to if we feel it's right, and the game and the opponent is the best way to match up against them. So it's always something we look at. I think we, believe it or not, I know people will think we play the same system every week. We don't. We change for the opposition because of how we play. I'm talking out of possession here more than in possession. So we'll continue to do that. But of course, if something we really like the look of and we think it adds value, it's something we could do again, definitely.
Nights like tonight exist for a reason, with that sense of occasion, and you said it before the game, that those on the pitch and those in the stands coming together. How did you get that against the Fulham, for example, on Saturday when that wasn't there? Is it just impossible or not? If you know what I mean, the nights like this exist in isolation. How do you then get that every week?
Yeah, I think they're in isolation to a degree, because I think you have to understand the psychology. Well, I was really frustrated after Saturday because part of me knew that this game was on the horizon, and maybe on a subconscious level some of the players were mentally saving themselves for this game. But we could still and could have and still should have, in my opinion, still won the game and found a way to win, despite the fact we knew we had this game coming up. So I think sometimes you're battling those feelings and thoughts, and you hope that it doesn't show in your performance, but it did, unfortunately for us. I think it's about just trying to learn from that, and the next time you're in that situation, find better ways to handle it. But certainly we're learning all the time, we're developing all the time, we're having new experiences all the time. That's just part of, I think, our growth as a team.
That's great. Louise.
Hi, congratulations, Eddie.
Thank you.
Fabian shared had an excellent game, and he seemed to have a sort of special role in nullifying Declan Rice. Was that you know, part of this great blueprint that really worked?
I'm not sure it's a great blueprint, but it did the job tonight. Yeah, that was Fabian's job off the ball, and I have to say I thought he did it brilliantly. It's not easy for a centre back to travel those distances. I certainly wouldn't have wanted to do it, and I played in his position. But Fabi's got real talents, and one of those is that he's very aggressive, and when you give him a job to do, he will try to do it to the letter. I'm really pleased to see him assist the goal, and real reward really for his high energy performance.
You think in another life he could have been a midfielder?
Oh, without a doubt, I think Fabi could have been a lot of things. He's not your traditional centre half by any means. He could have been a number 6, probably could have been a number 10. But we're grateful to have him in the position that he plays. He's very creative. He's done some special things since I've been here.
Next, Louise. We'll go to George, Scott and then Martin.
We talked a lot about the kind of draining of emotion from these big matches. Did you feel the magnitude inside when you were touched on it? Do you feel it, even if you're trying not to show it?
No, I think you know it's there. You know the magnitude. You know the you know the repercussions, good and bad. But I don't use it. I just have to carry on regardless, and just try and help the players prepare the game as best I can. Think of all the different eventualities and just be there if my players need me. That's how I do it. And then whatever happens, you face the reality of success or failure in everyone else's eyes. But I've learned to sort of live with that as I've got more experience.
Wasn't that kind of, in some ways, the most impressive thing tonight, that the players didn't feel that magnitude on the pitch, and certainly didn't see it keep that down and got the job.
Yeah, I think it looks like that. I mean, I would credit the players with the same. We were emotional, but in the right way. We weren't over the top. We weren't irrational. We were in control of everything that we were doing. I think that comes with experience. A lot of those players, and that was in part with the team selection, was to pick a team that could handle the occasion and the environment it was going into. There's some really wise heads on the pitch, really good leaders on the pitch, but a good mix with some youth and energy in there as well. So, yeah, I just thought we looked a top team today.
And sorry, just finally, I mean, every Newcastle manager knows these dates, knows these numbers. It's 70 years this year without a domestic trophy. That's enough, isn't it?
It's a long time, but it's difficult for me to add too much to it. I think it's a long time. We'd love to end it, and we'll work as hard as we can and prepare right to try and do that.
Scott.
Eddie, we can probably pick out a lot of individuals, but just to focus on Kieran, there's been various times in the last couple of years when it's felt like you might be leaving. There were probably times when you could have left. You've always been really strong that you felt he was important for lots of different reasons. The way he was kind of organising things, marshalling the team in that second half, is that why you were absolutely adamant you didn't want to lose Kieran Trippier?
Yeah, Kieran's got such brilliant attributes to his game, and when he's fit and firing, there's very few that can do it better than him. His use of the ball, his composure on the ball. He is an old-fashioned talker, and there's not many of those players left. You know, we've got a few in our squad, and we're very lucky to have them. But the leadership and organisation and all the know-how he has, he's built up through his career, the big games that he's played in, that definitely helped us tonight. Then you add his set play delivery and all the other little bits that he does really well. I thought he performed very well. Again, he's not played regularly, so it's always a physical demand on him, but I thought he answered those questions excellently today.
Scott, last few. We've got Martin, Dominic and Kieran to finish, please.
Eddie, the squad has taken time to build and then mould. So how satisfying when you see all that time in recruitment and coaching come off on a night like this?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting thought. Of course, you build a squad in the long term, and you're doing it to try and be successful and get results. And I think when you see a lot of the players we have recruited in the team and the dynamic looks good, there's a sense of satisfaction there. But the work never stops. The journey never stops, and we're always looking to improve what we try to do, improve the players individually. So we're still in that phase very much every day, trying to make us better.
And how important is that energy in your team, which you can see tonight? And is this 100% your team?
What do you mean?
In terms of every characteristic you want from.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, I think I've been here long enough to say that's my team, and I think I just want it to reflect certain qualities that I look for in a good team. I think the most important one is that we give everything to try and win every game. For me, that's the most important quality, because I think if you're showing that with the qualities that we do have and possess, we will win a lot of football matches. It's been the majority of games this season, not every game. There's been some frustrations. We're still trying to improve those little margins that make sure that doesn't happen in the future.
Thanks, Martin. Dominic?
Sven Botman was back in the side tonight after a couple of games. What did you make of his performance, and is he okay after going off the...
Yeah, I don't quite know what the problem was with Sven, why he had to be withdrawn. I think it was a knee issue, and we hope he's okay. He's such an important player. He's still coming back to his best feeling, rhythm after a long-term injury, but we certainly respect his qualities. I mean, we felt today it was just a must. We got him in the team with his physicality, with his strength, his ball-playing ability. Very, very pleased with his performance, but of course I need to check the injury and check he's okay.
On the similar subject, Tonali went off, looked in a bit of discomfort.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of cramp. I don't think that's an injury.
Thanks, Tom. Kieran to finish.
You mentioned that word know-how earlier. Can I just ask you how your team they're cute when they need to be maybe at times?
Yeah, I think you have to be at times. I've got no issue with that. I think, as I said earlier, we tried to pick a team that had a lot of experience in it. A lot of those players have played in the Champions League. They've played in different leagues around the world. I think it was a really good mix between youth and experience. We felt we need all of those pieces of know-how that you say, and times to speed the game up, times to slow the game down. I thought it was a really mature performance from a strong team.
I felt very emotional when it comes to the final last week. A sense of different feeling. You didn't see how celebration.
Yeah, I felt that all season, to be honest. I felt there's never been a moment where the team have been overly emotional. Now, I think that has positives and negatives. You know, the positive is, of course, you're expected to do your job and you're clinical with it, and that's how I want us to be. Of course, there's been times this season where haven't looked ourselves, we've almost looked under emotional. So there's a balance and a sweet spot we need to get right for every game. Certainly it was perfect tonight. I thought it was a really good emotional response to a really emotional game.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you. Thanks very much.